Hey guys, Spartan here for January 19th, 2022, daily recap video as usual. So let's talk about what happened today. I was out for the first hour and a half, had internet issues, so that was about the hour and a half actually when we start pre-market. I came in after half hour after the market opened up. What I noticed right away was market was, obviously bearish. We were breaking some support to the downside, so I started to look at everything on the short side, look at what the weakest sectors were, look for the relative strength. That's exactly what I do on the market open. That's exactly what I do throughout the day. So that was the way that I went about it. What I found right out the gate was Tesla short, took that name on the downside, which was nice. We also took AMAT short on the downside. The reason for taking this was I noticed it was the weakest semiconductor yesterday, so I figured they would get some nice range to the downside today. Again, worked out pretty good. Another thing that I noticed as well was you did have a little bit of small cap names pushing to the upside. So we did take things like Pike long today, which worked out nicely from 690 to 761. We took a little bit of that SDC long, got about 11 cents on it. Nothing crazy, but still a decent little winner for us there. A couple other things that we looked at on the short side were we looked at mRNA, of course. We've been kind of going in and out of that thing short for I'd say a couple weeks now. Do have a swing on it from 211, and obviously it's breaking down here. We do have room towards the 158 area, so I'll be looking for a continuation to the downside on that. And then we did scalp a little bit of Nvidia short, both on the equity and option side, and then we played it actually long off the lows here and back into the 50 MA, which worked out really nicely. Nice 100% trade on to the downside, and I think it was about like 75-80% on the upside. I can look at those exact numbers and post them later, of course. What else did we do on the option side? We did some SPY puts, which ended up working out pretty good, especially the end of the day. We had 453s that we took right when I came in. I was looking for a lotto play to the downside, and they did end up getting in the money at the end of the day, so we did get to exit those for a decent little gain. We played some SPY calls as well to the upside on the bounce, which worked out okay. I already talked about that. Nvidia, which was a decent play. We did LMNT. Oh, the other thing I noticed was with the relative strength in the morning, guys, what we saw was, and I tweeted about it, but defensive names were very strong the entire day. So anything that was a defensive type stock basically had tons of relative strength to it and tons of buying or money rotating into those types of names. And we did get into a bunch of them. Walmart was one that we played for 100% to the upside, 145 calls out the gate from this morning. We also did look at LMNT, which is a decent play. There was more of a range break on the daily that we were playing, the 385 calls from that range break or last day high break, which ended up being a pretty good trade. We did do we did do Pepsi 177.50s. Our target was 176, and that worked out pretty good as well. And then lastly, we had some KSS, which we ended up grabbing on the flag. We ended up getting a little bit of news coming out there and a nice little pop. So all in all, okay on the names that didn't work. Some of the stuff that didn't work. Did try to take the Microsoft on the little bit of a bounce here. Ended up grabbing off of that EMA support, which ended up failing. We ended up getting out of that thing pretty much flat or down like a couple cents. Wasn't a huge loss by any means. And I got to hand it out to Beth on the morning. She did UNH. She did Uber, which worked out nicely. Oracle, which worked out nicely as well. So pretty good stuff. Some of the stuff that didn't work though, like I said, Microsoft didn't work. I tried to do XOM puts. It was extended on the daily in the morning, and basically it didn't get that full pull. I was looking for 72.15. It kind of bounced right away on that blow off, and that one just ended up not working. Probably one of the best put plays we had though was the Nvidia 250 puts. I was looking for those to get in the money, and they got right at the money there, so it was pretty decent. All in all, okay day. Kind of chaotic for me because I was coming in a little bit late, not as prepared as I am every single day. Usually hour and a half pre-market, right, to get you ready, get your head space correct. Understand what's going on in all the indices, etc., etc. But battled through it, did well, and not a bad day at all. Oh, lastly, forgot to talk about this NEM. NEM, great relative strength. Again, defensive type name, played the 65 calls. We actually played equity on it for about a point and change, and then we rolled into the 65 calls, which ended up getting in the money at the end of the day, and we are holding those overnight. So, but like I said, all in all, decent day. Some of the stuff that didn't work was basically during the day when it was really choppy. We were kind of just exiting things before they hit the stops, taking things off flat, etc. And then obviously at the end of the day, we got that puke on the market on close. Anyways, we'll see what happens tomorrow. A lot of things are extended to the downside, worth noting that. Keep an eye on IWM, guys. I think that's an extremely important indice to watch right now because it just broke a monthly support at 204.80 area. And if it stays under that and confirms, technically the next big pivot is around 172, 173. So quite a bit of room down there. And lastly, the semiconductor names. Take a look at these on the daily. SMH broke a major range support level, closed underneath it today. Tomorrow will give us confirmation. If we get it, we're looking at 276 in the short term. So a couple little things to keep an eye on. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, you can go to spartantrading.com. Have a good one.